What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Do You Want More, a UFC stat show here on the Monkmatics channel. I am your host, Monk, aka Monk Master Flex, and let's get right into it. This is the last fight I'm breaking down for this week. I got, let's see, Uriah Hall versus Sean Strickland on this weekend's fight card on ESPN. UFC Fight Night, obviously, Hall versus Strickland. So enough with the bullshit. We'll jump right into it. Uriah Hall versus Sean Strickland, middleweight fight, 6 feet tall, 79-inch reach for Hall. Strickland 6'1", 76-inch reach. And Strickland is, let's see, 6.5 years younger than Uriah Hall. Average fight time, nope, we skipped one. I always do this. Professional record 18-9 for Uriah Hall. He's got 13 KO TKO wins and 1 submission win, and TKO'd 4 times in his career. He's 10-7 in the UFC. Sean Strickland 22-3 professionally, 10 TKO wins, 4 submission wins, and 1 TKO loss. He is 10-3 in the UFC. Average fight time for Hall 9.18, 12.1 for Sean Strickland. Ass whoop index is pretty even keel for Uriah Hall at 0.57, whereas Sean Strickland is much better at 6.61. Strickland has a 0.5 power index and a 0.35 chin index. Good for 28th in the division on both counts. Power index for Uriah Hall, much better, 1.54. That is the 8th highest in the middleweight division. Chin index is 0.54, a little bit worse than Sean Strickland. Fight odds. This fight is a -170 that it does not go to decision. Opened Sean Strickland at -180, +155 for Hall. Currently, that has widened a bit. We're sitting at -217 for Strickland and +175 for Hall. Some notable wins. Let's just skip. I don't even want to think about the Chris Weidman win. Bang Boze, I believe is how you say it. Uriah Hall finished him in the first round, and he also finished Ron Stallings 6 years ago in the first round. Some notable performances. Derek Brunson, he got smashed by Gregor Mousasi in the rematch, and he got smashed by Paulo Costa in the second round. Sean Strickland, his best win was over Brendan Allen, who we just saw beat Punahele Soriano last week. He subbed Robert McDaniel, and he subbed Nordine Taleb. Got smashed by Zaleski dos Santos in the first round. He also had the unfortunate luck of having to fight Kamaru Usman in the UFC, and he got beat in a 3-round decision by Santiago Ponzinibbio about 6 years ago. Fight finishing data. 80% of Uriah Hall's wins are by finish. 8 knockout wins, TKO wins, no submission wins. He has been finished 3 times, 3 TKO losses for a 43% finish loss rate there. Sean Strickland finished 40% of his wins, 3 TKO wins and 1 sub win, and he has been finished, like we said, 1 time out of his 3 losses, and that was a TKO loss. Graphical representation of the fight finishing data we just talked about, so you can feel free to check that out. Anywhere it's kind of bunched up is just a 0 for the most part. Some of these are unruly, so we'll have to fix that. There we go. Let's see. Striking data. Let's get into the real numbers. 3.34 significant strikes landed per minute for Uriah Hall at a 51% accuracy, so not bad there. Sean Strickland lands significantly more than that at 5.14 strikes landed per minute at a 39% accuracy, so more volume but less accurate. Defensively, Uriah Hall, 3.53 strikes landed against per minute at a 53% defense. Against Sean Strickland, 3.64 strikes landed against per minute at a 67.86% defense. So that is the 3rd highest defense in the middleweight division. As far as striking differentials go, Sean Strickland's is positive 1.49 strikes landed per minute on the positive side. That's good for 8th in the division. On the other side, Uriah Hall is just under 1 at a negative 0.2 strikes landed per minute. Good for 39th out of 56 fighters in the middleweight division. We'll go down to knockdown data. 8 knockdowns for Uriah Hall. 0.77 knockdowns per 15 minutes. That is pretty high. 3 knockdowns against. That is a 0.29 knockdowns against per 15 minutes. About average, little less than average in the middleweight division. Sean Strickland, 4 knockdowns. Significantly lower rate at a 0.83 knockdown per 15. And he has been knocked down twice at a 0.19 knockdown against per minute. So a bunch of knockdown information there. Takedown data, 7 of 18 landed for Uriah Hall. That's 38.89%, so not great, but better than average in the division. And he has stuffed 30 out of 43 takedowns for just under 70%. Takedown shooting rate 1.76, so just about below average. Sean Strickland has landed 12 of 20. That is a 60% takedown accuracy, and he has stuffed, what is that, 32 out of 39 for a fantastic 82% takedown defense. Like I said, we look for that 70 rate, which Uriah Hall is at, but Strickland has taken that up a notch to 82%. But he has a smaller takedown shooting rate than Hall at a 0.97. So Strickland definitely more of a striker. I have taped this just a little bit. I need to finish taping it though. But in his last fight against... Oh, what fight did I watch? No, I watched the Brendan Allen fight. He just kind of stood there. I mean, he did get the finish, but he didn't move. He didn't move a lot. He just kind of stood there, you know, throws a couple and then hits him with the power shot. You know what I mean? So we have to look for that. Uriah Hall definitely moves around more. So we'll see if Sean Strickland can pick up the pace, moving his feet there. But like I said, I've only taped that one fight so far, so I'm not done yet. Let's move on to control time. 7.58% for Uriah Hall, so that's only 1.14 minutes per 15, so not great. And he has been controlled 26% of his fight time. On the other side, 11.5% control for Strickland, so not much better than Hall there. But the control time against is much better, 9.71%. He only gets controlled less than 1.5 minutes per 15, so pretty good there. The differential is positive for Strickland, 1.79. minus 18.82 for Uriah Hall. So clearly the control time goes to Strickland here. The get up time, 57.5 seconds for Uriah Hall on average, 23.5 for Sean Strickland. So better than double. Hold down time, 39.4 for Uriah Hall, 54.3 on average for Sean Strickland. And then lastly, the control time activity rate. What does a guy or girl do on the ground or against the cage when they're in control? Are they going for subs and takedowns? Are they throwing strikes and ground strikes? 16.23 for Uriah Hall. That's good for 15th in the division, so not bad there. 12.21 for Sean Strickland. Also not bad, but less than Uriah Hall. Let's go to submission and reversal data. 2 submissions attempted from Hall, unsuccessful on both. He has stopped all 3 against him. 4 submission attempts for Sean Strickland. He has been successful on 1 of them and none thrown up against. So no reversals either for Strickland. Uriah Hall has 4 reversals. That's a 0.38 per 15 minutes. So our DraftKings guys will appreciate that. Few extra points. Advanced significant striking data. What is jumping out at me? Massive volume to the head for Sean Strickland, but the accuracy's not there. Better accuracy for Uriah Hall to the head, that's for sure. But everywhere else, it seems like Strickland is a bit better defensively and accuracy-wise. But other than that, volume, head to the body, it's kind of Uriah Hall as far as volume numbers go. Advanced significant striking percentages. Let's see, 71% of the shots Uriah Hall throws are to the head, 14% to the body, and 14.5% to the legs. Sean Strickland, more of a headhunter for sure. 90% of the shots he throws are to the head, 5% to the body, and only 4% to the legs. So like I said, much more of a headhunter there for Sean Strickland. And there is a graphical analysis of all the stuff we just talked about as far as accuracy numbers go. 5-fight history. Let's check out how they compare to the last 5 fights. Sean Strickland has better numbers almost everywhere. The accuracy is a bit lower, and he has fewer knockdowns than Uriah Hall. But literally everywhere else, they're either the same or Sean Strickland is better. Striking differential, negative 0.55 for Hall. 3.39 for Sean Strickland. That is a fantastic number over his last 5. Negative 0.89 takedowns per 15 for Hall. 0.31 on the positive side for Strickland. Negative 25% control time differential for Hall. Plus 4% Strickland. We're looking good for Strickland over here. The ass whooping index significantly increased over the last 5. 10.97 compared to 6.61 in his career. And it has actually gone up for Uriah Hall as well, but it's still, you know, not even 1. The power index has also gone way up for Hall. Now it is over 2 in the past 5, whereas Sean Strickland is 0.55. Chindex is pretty much equal, right around the 0.5 mark for both of them, so they both have been knocked down in their last 5. How have they been trending in the past 5 compared to their career? Uriah Hall, most categories, he is trending down. He has increased his significant strikes landed per minute by 0.42 strikes over the past 5 compared to his career. That's what these numbers are telling us. His takedown accuracy, though, minus 39% over his last 5 compared to his career. That is pretty god awful. Sean Strickland is pretty much the opposite in almost every category. On the other side, significant striking accuracy is improved by 7. Takedown accuracy plus 40% over his last 5 compared to his career. That is fantastic. Takedown defense plus 18% over his last 5 versus his career. Fantastic numbers. Great improvements by Sean Strickland there on the ground. Let's get into strength of schedule. Pretty good for both guys. 75% opponent win percentage for Uriah Hall. I know that was a bit redundant. 75% for Sean Strickland. They both have a 75 strength of schedule. Strength of victory is pretty similar. Strength of defeat is where we differ. In his last 5, Uriah Hall, his loss to Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa's got a great record. That's why that number is so high, 0.92. Whereas Sean Strickland, his loss to Zaleski Dos Santos. Dos Santos does not have as good of a record as Paulo Costa, and that's why his is at 75. You can also take a look at the last 5 individual fights here. Statistically, if you would like, they are both 4 and 5 over their past 5 with 1 loss. They are both on 4-fight win streaks. I will scroll up so you can see past my fat bald head for the past few fights for Uriah Hall. And then lastly, guys, we are looking at the graphical analysis for 3 main categories here. Our blue line is our fighter. Orange line is our fighter's opponents. The dashed lines are our trend lines. And the solid green is our average, and the solid yellow is our opponent's average. So you want the solid blue above the orange. You want our fighter's blue to be trending up and theirs to be trending down. And you want the solid green above the solid yellow. So we are pretty much the opposite here for Uriah Hall. He is trending down on significant strikes landed per minute. His average is below his opponent's average, so not really what you want to see there. Takedown data, nothing at all for Uriah Hall. Pretty self-explanatory. Same with control time. He is very low. His opponents are actually trending down, but are significantly higher at 26.5% compared to 1% for Uriah Hall. Let's jump the midline for Sean Strickland's numbers. This is more of exactly what you want to see. Blue line above orange. Our fighter's blue line is trending up. Their fighter's orange line is trending down. And our average is above their average. So this is exactly what you want to see as far as striking goes over the past 5 fights. Same with takedowns. I mean, we started at 0. We're trending up. I know he's only had 1 fight where he's landed a takedown, but still, we're trending up, and his opponents are not trending up. So very good. Same with control time. Blue line is above orange. Orange is trending down. Blue is trending up. And our average is well above our opponent's average. So graphically, the Sean Strickland numbers look much better than Uriah Hall. That said, we are finished, guys. We have broken down every fight on this week's fight card. We did lose 2 fights. We lost the Sam Alvey and the Roman Kopylov fight, and we lost now I can't remember the other one. Shamil Abdurakhimov against Chris Daukaus. So we are left with what we are left with, but we are finished. So please, like I always say, make sure you do your tape study. Just take, a couple hours, throughout the week and break down a couple of these fighters that you've never seen before. YouTube them, get on your Fight Pass. I know Fight Pass can be super annoying, but it is good. It is a good resource to use. Sometimes YouTube fights are not great to watch, and you can't always find all of them. So do your fight tape. Statistics are not the end all be all. Like I always say, when it comes to picking fights, in fact, they are secondary to a good film study. So make sure you do that. I am going to jump right into my film study as soon as I stop recording this. But again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been the fight breakdown of Uriah Hall versus Sean Strickland on this weekend's card on ESPN by the same name. Thank you guys again for joining me. If you liked this, if this was informative, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be going hard doing these individual videos probably every single week. I'm going to get them out earlier than I got it out this week. I'm going to get it out earlier next week for UFC 65. On top of that, I'm going to have a DraftKings breakdown video coming probably on Wednesday or Thursday as soon as they release salaries. They might be out. I have not checked them yet. I'm recording this Tuesday afternoon. So anyways, thanks again for joining me. Hit that like button and please do your fight study. Let's take money from the bookies and we will see you next time. Enjoy the fights.